Ja tervetuloa takaisin Justice for Allin läpipeluseen. Mennään saman tien. What? Prosecutor Von Kama? You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred Von Kama was really a sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks. Also, he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. He knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts? And now his successor, I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. It's not good. Mystic Maya. Pearly. You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Did you two come together? Mother's watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? 8-vuotias kulki 2 tuntia bussilla yksin. Onko se edes laillista? Yep, I snuck out of the manor and follow the map. Okay. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't. Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train. Oh man. Niin sä et tullut siis... Se ei oo kyllä edes mahdollista niinku 1 päivän aikana. Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's train? I give up. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Kama tries to do something to me? At least I know Miss Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Kama. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. Eikö se oli Edgeworth, joka sanoi sen? Mä ajattelin, että Phoenix huutaa sille objection, että ei ole kavereita. Ai vitsi, mä rakastan sitä biisiä. I still remember him as though I'd seen him all yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them, but when you are rivals for life. Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone. And he's not coming back. Ai jaa, se päätyy sitten siihen lopputuloksen episodi 5 jälkeen. What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick. Court is now in session for trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? Upea pimu. What is this? What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Joanna. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. Must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct? hold on. So she's the famed successor to Prosecutor von Karma. And Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking. Sä just hyökkäsit tuomarin kimppuun. Se on aika laiton teko. If you interrupt me again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Yow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant Maya Fey will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor, does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense. The plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. You could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but the defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor, because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. She's just as scary as her father. Like father likes daughter, I suppose. Mun mielestä se on aika upea pimu. Ei yhtään pelottava. Ehkä vähän cold-hearted bitch, but... Mutta... Upea pimu silti. Witness, your name and occupation. Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? That's quite a look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. And that's when they found that that victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over. A diagram of the channeling chamber. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time then. Cause of death. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used a pistol to finish the victim after the stabbing. Selkeä itsemurha. Tosi miksi olisi ampunut kahdesti? Tosi missä on se... Niin no... Siinä folding paperissa, mikä se olikaan, folding käännettävässä, en minä tiedä mikä se paperijuttu nyt olikaan, niin siinä oli reikä. Miksi sielläpä jos reikä, jos se maja on selkä siihen päin? Selvästikin se Gray yritti ampua majan ensin. Tosin sitten se olisi edelleenkin että itse puolustautumista. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point blank. Ei, mutta se ensin yritti ampua majan, ja sitten se ampui itsensä. Maja itse puolustautui vaan iskemällä sitä puukolla rintaa. Johonkin se ei kuollut. Joo, tällä mä menen. The court accepts it into evidence, Mr. Wright. Into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Cause of death. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The murder weapon, Detective Kamshu, whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you are not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims, the defendant, Maja face, were also on the grip, sir. Shit. Sinne meni mun teoria. Tai puolustus, ei sit varsinainen teoria ollut, koska mä tiedän että kyllähän se Maja siihen sormillaan koski, tai siis Majan sormet koski siihen, ei Maja koskenut siihen. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. I walked right into her hands there. The shot was fired from point blank range. Point blank, huh? So about how far away was that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point blank? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Excuse me. Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets a real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. Stabbed. And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? It looks like it belongs to the face, sir. Of course, my face fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. How severe was the wound? It had been half an inch more to the right. It was hit the victim's heart. Each step like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. The murderer used the pistol to finish his victim off after the stabbing. I saw he was stabbed first and then shot. Yep, so as there can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantaneously. Instantly. Doesn't matter then which was first. I think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence. Murder weapon was Grace. 2 shots wide, bears Maya's and Grace's fingerprints. Murder weapon, a small fruit knife, belongs to the face, bears Maya's fingerprints. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time, and 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them. This does seem like an open shut case. Naturally. This going from bad to worse, as if the summer just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Joanna, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there? This is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes? Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a decision. I'd better think this through all the way. Plead not guilty. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of to complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective. Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now see here. Proceedings are run by... Eek. Oh yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a backspray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya fate to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Majas costume. Että kehtaattekin kutsua sitä kostyymiksi. Se on outfit, mikä se on suomeksi. Puku, Majan puku. Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. There are blood splatters on it. Alright, Mr. Wright. Nice fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? Ha, what's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony that the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You are kinda scary today, you know, pal. Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? As you can see, it's covered in blood. This blood on the costume. Lab results show that it is the victim's blood. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well... You must change the topic. If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on. Ah, yes, Miss Montgomery is perfect. Miss Montgomery is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Press further. Why is Miss Montgomery suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Miss Montgomery's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it. Looks like my time is up. So about the costume. Mä pystyn inspektaa sitä. Miksi se veri on sen rinnuksilla, eikä se tyyliin niinku tässä sen hartioilla? Tai rinnassa. Ei keksi muutakaan. Totta kai siinä on. There is one little thing. En perään. Eikä mä osaa kolata siitä. Your Honor. Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you are talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Okay. Shit. Huh. What is this? I asked the squad to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But it is something to report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Joanna, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order! Is This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. Press the check button for details. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Pilasas sitä saman tien. Nyt mä pystyn näkemään sen täältä sinne. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. While I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you don't find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then no way. Detective Kamshu, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Miksei se taisi tullut vastaan. Wasn't fighting back. How do you know if he was or wasn't? Toki se sanoo, että se ei taisi tulla vastaan, koska sitä viskittiin puukolla, mutta miksei se taisi tulla vastaan sitä puukoniskua? We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically. We are in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That's one Karma. She thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. No, mulla ei tähän mitään sanottavaa. Is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime? Joo, niin oli. As you can see, it's covered in blood. Niin on. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Tähän mun on keksittävä jotain. No. Mulla on tämä. Se näyttää siltä, että se on ampunut sitä ensin. Detective Dick Kamshu. Yes. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right. Seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the victim seems to be shifting. Ha! What is with that? Are you finished yet, laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Von Karma? It seems that Maya Faye was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Johanna, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Now that you... Why, that's right. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No. Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Ah! Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the cause what transpired that day. With any information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together this ceremony all by myself? Ah! Yes, sir. Right away, sir. What transpired? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Tämä on kyllä aika far-fetched the theory. This scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. But please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Millä motiivilla? There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Quran channeling technique, the medium physically changes. As the nurses spilled, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Quran channeling technique. Tää on mun pääsy pois tästä. Eikö mä nyt voi sanoa että se ei ollut Maikka sen teki? Se oli se hoitaja. Like I said before, imperfect. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterwards I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ah! Sorry. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where the world did that pistol come from? It looked like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But the handgun, they got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Selvästi halusi morhata sen hoitajan. He was taking precautions against something. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Oliko se nyt lausuttaa jotenkin? Tuntuu, että se kirjoittiin väärin. Luin sen kahdesti, niin en lukenut väärin. Se on kirjoittu väärin. Tai se oli liikaa. Sorry pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Miten se mukaan sai se aseen? Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety of even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me, I wonder. Now do you understand? And Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. Mä menen pitämään tauon. No niin, pissin kahvin keittämään. Eli mitäs mä sanoisin näin? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Motiivi? Of course, the victim used the last of his breath to fight back, sir. No, tähän mulla ei mitään vastaväittävää. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. No, en osaa väittää vastaan tähänkään. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Mä väitän tähänkään vastaan. Kohta tää puukko tulee sitten mukaan. Säikä, jotta mä valliin vahingossa presenttasin tää. Mä en kyllä nyt tiiä. Voisinko mä koittaa tätä näin? Salaako se jotain? Ehkä se tulee automaattisesti. Tässä sanoo, just stab the victim in the chest. Tässä kohtaa tuli se puukko. Eli kysyisin motiivia. Tässä on taas liian vähän verta. Tää avain. En nyt usko, että tää mitenkään liittyy asiaan. Vielä ei kuulu siltä. Se kyllä sanoo se Mia, että niinku tämä on avain kaikkeen, mutta miettisin että jos niinku on jumissa, niin tätä voisi koittaa käyttää, mutta The puhutaan siitä, että se ei hirveästi kyllä niinku tee mitään sen jälkeen, kun sitä ollaan puukutettu. Koitetaan. Ei. Ensimmäisenä se puukuttiin rintaan, sitten se vetää aseensa esille ja yrittää ampua. Sitten mä ihmettelin, että miten se mukaan se otti se ase ja... Mitään vihjettä. Se vaan sanoo, että tässä on joku contradictioni, mutta... Mitä mä en huomaa. Katsotaan nyt nää kaikki läpi. Ei revelaatio. Ei kun relationi, mikä se on. Ei liity asiaan. Tää on se... Ei kun tää on se mansioni. Ei kun manori. Ei liity asiaan. Ei liity asiaan. Ei liity asiaan. Tää liittyy asiaan. Miten mä pointtaisin tän ja mihinkä kohtaan? En keksi miten tää liittyisi asiaan. Tää on se paikka, missä tää tapahtui, mutta en tiedä miten mä tämän liittäisin millään tavalla tähän. Mikä pointti? Tässä mä en osaa oikein sanoa. Tässä ei oo mitään tätä, mikä menisi tätä vastaan. Stab in the chest, then... Stab in the chest, then shot at point blank. En näe mitään ristiriitaa tässä. Jos mä tähän näyttäisin tätä, että tää ollaan ammuttu. Ei. Mietit, jos mä koittaisin näyttää jotain profiilia. Kävi jo sanoi jo että se hoitajana se pystyisi ehkä taistelemaan vastaan. Sitten oli tää Mimi. Joka näkee sen tilaisuuden. Ei Maja. Tää menee uusiksi. Mun pitää katsoa ohjeet, mitä hittoa. Miksi nää on näin vaikeita? Tässä ne kommentoissa tarvitaan, että millä voimilla. Miten mä näyttäisin sen, että sillä olisi voimia taistella vastaan. Kommentoisin mitä mulla pyörii päässä, mutta mulla ei pyöri mitään. Yksi on että niinku itse Maja muka taistelisi tämmöstä. Tää on 35 ja se on harmaantunut. No ehkä sen työ tekee semmoista. Aiheuttaa harmaita hiuksia. Itsehän kohtainen kommentoisi tältä, että Maja ottaa toisen niinku fysikaalisuuden. En keksi. Koitetaan tällä puukolla sanoa sitä, että koitinko mä tätä jo en tiiä. Nyt menee uusiksi. Joo. Mä katson mitä pitää tehdä. Jatketaan kohta. No niin, olen takas tässä. Mä luin mitä pitää tehdä. Mutta nyt mä haluan ymmärtää miksi mun pitää tehdä se. Eli 1, 2, 3 ja 4 tähän. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close he missed. Ja tässäkin mulla on ollut mielessä, että niinku, että eikö lähelle ampuminen olisi helpompaa kuin kauas ampuminen, you know. Tai lähempänä, niin se on helpompaa, mutta tämä semmoista väittäisin. Aseella ehkä, mutta mä koitin sitä näyttää tätä, että niin kun tässä on väärät kulma ehkä, mietin semmoista. Mut vastaus on tämä. Ei olisi kyllä tullut ihan heti mieleen. Anna vaan siinä on toi luodenreikä, mutta mä käytin siihen läpi, että no, annetaan tämä on se oikea vastaus. Missing the tiny hole on this costume. Will be the prosecution's undoing. Eh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Good gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the burn hole, the bullet hole. Oh, but there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. Good point, good point. This is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then when they were separated and he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from stabbing was very severe. The victim would have not had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then, that's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Sulla on hyvin varaa tehdä virheitä. Concentrate and think. Something doesn't make sense. There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? Yeah, very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And as she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. No, mä en vedetä tänään uudestaan, niin mä yritän keksiä tähän mitä mä sanoin ja sitten viimeisellä yritän. Mä katon, tosi mulla on aika paljon varaa kyllä nyt feilata tämä. Ja mä katon toi walkthrough guide, niin se ei jatkunut enää tämän pidemmälle. Niin. Mä haluaisin jotenkin tunkea tän tähän mukaan, niin koitetaan tätä. This is a piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Se kulluma. What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, Maya, I mean the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order, order! This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot. The bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 80 inches off the ground. This time the defendant was in this area. Somewhere around here. Oh, the justice place is scrunched like just smelled some serious bad breath. That is, I mean, I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. Sir. In the meantime, I want you to think things through again, Mr. Wright. Of course. Oops. What's done is done. For now, I should focus on where Maya was at the time of the crime. Tossa, lähempänä. Somewhere around here. Huh? Uh-oh. Really? Eikö ne siis suunnitella kaukana? She was standing here near the folding screen. Niin ei se lähellä ollut. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole, but how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You of all people should know the answer to that question, Miss Wonkama. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah, curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you. I believe it has been proven that the defendant was standing away from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this was changed? But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? It changed everything. Vittu varmaan aina. Honestly, Joanna, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen. Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving that the logic behind everything is your job. Oof. Alright, well, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you have been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Yes. Of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? How is it my fault? You can start repairing your standing by first removing the 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured, your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Joanna, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lada. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. To be continued. Näkö se on laittanut tuohon erikseen, että saving content, mutta se ei oikeastaan mitään. Nyt se vasta tallentaa. No joo. Voi vitsi. Miksi mä voin vaan sanoa tätä, että se ei ollut maja. Se oli se hoitaja. No, katsotaan mitä seuraava tuo tullessaan. Materiaali jatkuu seuraavassa jaksossa. Kiitos kun katsoitte.